So people are saying I don't know enough about Lana Del Rey. I'm gonna be honest, I don't. So like her lyrics, a lot of you guys were mad at my last reaction, bro. Calm little documentary. It's not a full documentary, but cool little video. Hopefully this can educate me on the side of Lana Del Rey I'm not too familiar with. Hopefully I can then take this newfound knowledge and apply it to her music, and I'll be able to understand what's really going on. All right, I'm doing this for you. I do it all for you guys. And then he's Braylon, you don't know anything about Lana Del Rey, and you're about to sit here and act like you know about Lana Del Rey. Bro, you know a couple songs. Bro, you don't know how deep this shit really get. Summer, where's the crowd? Hey, Summer, a nigga fell off, bro. It's cool. I gotta get more consistent. I gotta get more of my shit. But let's just get straight into this.
In the era of Tumblr.
Shit, he got straight into it.
Growing up in the 2010s in the era of Tumblr, infinity scars, and flower crowns, it's hard to not remember the influence Lana Del Rey
Nigga, the 2010s. Growing up in the 2010s. Hey, how old is he? Am I tripping? Alright, I'm not that old to be. Whatever, bro.
The world and the internet when she first popped onto the scene with her viral self-edited song Video Games, with her following album Born to Die then becoming an immediate international success. Lana Del Rey's melancholic, vintage, dreamy aesthetic was and is engaging and immersive, and helped to garner her cult status relatively quickly. To many, Del Rey has come to mean so much more than just a celebrity or artist, but someone who has an irresistible air of mystique within her persona and her music. Her music has been noted by critics for its stylized cinematic quality. Its
Hold on, you want to see me play horror games? Bro, I get on that. I get scared playing them by myself, though. I'm gonna be honest.
Tragic romance, glamour, and melancholia, and its references to pop.
This nigga using big ass vocab words, bro. Is that like a Lana Del Rey thing? I feel like, bro.
Her music has been noted by critics for its stylized cinematic quality, its preoccupation with themes of tragic romance, glamour, and melancholia, and its references to pop.
Am I supposed to know what those words mean?
50s and 1960s Americana. All these factors helped Lana to truly make a name for herself in the music world and American pop culture. It can be really hard and sometimes.
Hey, that's not who I expected behind the mic, bro. I'm gonna keep it 100. This nigga got tattoos everywhere, right? Bro, a chin tat? I've never seen one. Hard though, I'm not gonna hate. Bro, bridge of the nose tat? Nigga, oh my gosh, that had to hurt. Are those fake freckles? From what I'm getting right now, Lana Del Rey was ahead of the curve, alright? She was doing this before, you know what I mean? Shit, before I even knew what was going on. Damn, she paved the way for the greats that we're seeing today. Is that what's going on?
It's honestly impossible to find a really well in-depth documentary made about Lana Del Rey.
So you about to make one?
Goes through all of her life. So today I wanted to basically create my own documentary and detail her early life, early career, and what led.
This nigga look like who I think El Chapo would look like
my own
in his 20s or something.
Detail her early life, early career, and what led her to the success that she is at today. Before in the second half.
Does he even? I just wouldn't even know he would listen to Lana Del Rey. Whatever, man.
With her fans, including myself, and why I do feel it is so powerful to so many different people.
It's deeper though. It's deeper. I gotta learn, man. I gotta learn.
Lana Del Rey was born Elizabeth Woolridge Grant on June 21st,
I know
1985
I know
in
that.
Placid, New York, to parents Rob and Patricia Grant. Lana had a pretty quiet early life because of her town's seclusion.
Yeah, she looked the
and very
same.
Small population. Around the ages of 14 to 15, she began to.
Hold on, I'm sorry. Where'd she go?
1985.
New York, but.
Growing up in the 2010s.
Oh, bet the video's over.
New York to parents Rob and Patricia Grant. Lana had a pretty quiet early life because of her town's seclusion and very small population. Around the ages of 14 to 15, she began to develop an alcohol dependency, and she was then
14, 15. Is it what? Fuck. How'd she get her hands on the booze? Rob and Patricia. I'm sorry.
Town seclusion and very small population.
Dependency at 14?
At 14 to 15, she began to develop an alcohol dependency, and she was then sent to Kent boarding school to help become sober. Lana has said, quote, "That's why I really got sent to boarding school, to get sober." Lana has said that she has had an early preoccupation with mortality and the idea of death, saying in a 2012 UK Telegraph interview, "When I was very young, I was sort of floored by the idea that my mother and my father and everyone I knew was going to die one day. write, and myself too. I had a sort of a philosophical crisis.
Damn,
I
some
couldn't
real
believe that
shit.
we were mortal. For some reason, that knowledge sort of overshadowed my
Shit, not
experience.
forever.
I was unhappy for some time. I got into a lot of trouble. I used to drink a lot. That was a
Damn.
hard time in my life." End quote. Anyone who is also hip to
Damn.
Lana's unreleased canon can see her early boarding school experiences and her rebellious nature detailed pretty accurately. She eventually moved to Long Island to live with her aunt and uncle while becoming a waitress. Lana eventually enrolled at Fordham University in the Bronx, where she majored in philosophy with a big interest in metaphysics. She's quoted as saying in a Rolling Stone interview, "I chose to study the subject because it, quote, bridged the gap between God and science. I was interested
Lana!
in God and how technology could bring us closer to finding out where we came from and why," end quote. Meanwhile, she lived with boyfriends and crashed on couches. She's quoted as saying, "I was writing for years, trying to figure out what I really wanted to say and why I was so consumed with this passion for writing and where it came."
She's really a thinker. She's really a deep thinker of our time. Hold on, I might gotta look more, because I'm already knowing this. Okay, but the thing that sucks about these album reactions, bro, this is my first listen. There's too much going on. I be overstimulated, bro. Give me a break. I get, like, bro, I'm listening to new, like, everything's new and novel, bro. That's what y'all don't get, bro. It's a whole lot going on. It sucks being out here. What I'm really trying to get at, though, is it's my first time listening to all this. I can't take in all this depth at one time. And niggas clown me in the chat for it. How? It's cool, though, because I'm about to listen back to some of these songs, because as you guys know, there's a lot of meaning to them. A lot of... She uses a lot of poetry, bro. That shit is... I'm a shallow thinker when it comes to this shit, bro. Let me evolve.
It kept me up all night, so I was waiting to see why.
She really a thinker, though. I'm thinking like she's really Aristotle, though, but like the music version, no? She's trying to figure out a form how she feels and thinks into a way. Oh my gosh. Wow, this is amazing. Yeah, music, bro.
Whole separate world.
Me onto your black motorcycle.
Bro, how old is she though? Because these look like clips from 1980. How old is she really? Oh, it's muted.
From my ideal.
Del Rey slowly began writing songs and performing in nightclubs around the city under various names, such as Sparkle Jump Rope Queen and Lizzie Grant and the Phenomena. In a 2012 interview for British Vogue, she said, "I was singing, but didn't plan on pursuing it seriously. When I got to New York City when I was 18, I started playing in clubs in Brooklyn. I had good friends and devoted fans on the underground scene, but we were playing just for each other at that point, and that was it." Lana eventually got a recording contract with 5 Points after submitting acoustic demos and used the $10,000 she received to move into a mobile home in North Bergen, New Jersey, and began working with producer David Kane. Del Rey graduated from Fordham with a Bachelor of Arts degree in philosophy in 2008, after which she then released a 3-track EP, Kill Kill, as Lizzie Grant.
I'm in love with a dying man, and I was just about to say the dog hugging onto her way too tight. Am I reading way too behind the lines?
Lizzie Grant.
That album cover ass though. Maybe it's just not my time or something.
David asked to work with me only a day after he got my demo. He is known as a producer with a lot of integrity and who had an interest in making music that wasn't just pop, Lana explains. When asked about what inspired her stage name, she is quoted as saying, "I wanted a name I could shape the music towards. I was going to Miami quite a lot at the time."
This is where she came up with Lana Del Rey. I'm a knower. I'm a fan though.
Speaking a lot of Spanish with my friends from Cuba, Lana Del Rey reminded us of the glamour of the seaside. It sounded gorgeous coming off the tip of the tongue. With some marketing help from her father, she released her first album titled Lana Del Rey, noticeably spelled with an A, in 2010, which was also available on iTunes. The record did pretty bad and was eventually pulled from all platforms because, in Lana's words, the label was unable to fund it. Lana was eventually able to get out of the record deal with 5 points, where she felt as if, quote, nothing was happening, and shortly after moved to London, where she met more friends and even acted in a short film called Poolside. Although Lana had bigger aspirations for her work and her career, the success and opportunity she desired lagged behind her. This was all about to change for her in October of 2011, however.
In June, when did she drop the album? Oh, I know this album, Born to Die. What song is this?
Lana uploaded the self-made music video for her song Video Games to YouTube on October 16th,
Feel like AI.
which features vintage stock footage of playful scenes of America interspersed with shots of her singing on her webcam. Video Games became a viral hit sensation, and for a minute it seemed like it was impossible to get away from, especially on sites like Tumblr and Facebook. She says on the song, "I just put that song online a few months ago because it was my favorite. To be honest,
that's what got her going? Video games? For real? That's the first song I actually heard by her. Her and Billie Eilish do what? Right?
Facebook. She says on the song, "I just put that song online a few months ago because it was my favorite. To be honest, it wasn't going to be a single, but people have really responded to it." In October of 2011, she signed a joint deal with Interscope Records and Polydor to release her second studio album, Born to Die. And this brings us to the infamous SNL performance of Blue Jeans.
Oh.
Jeans, white shirt. Oh, please stay here.
Many critics claim she sounds absolutely terrible.
I ain't gonna lie, I was just about to say. Oh. Damn, I was about to say it. I'm gonna be honest, bro. I'm gonna be honest. Someone had to say it, right? It wasn't given. I don't know. I'm sorry, bro. I'm gonna recreate it though. Blue jeans, white shirt. My fault, bro. Hold on. I'm sorry. That shit was.
Jeans, white shirt.
I don't like it. Please. My fault, bro. It's the first performance, though. Niggas have to grow. But it's okay that we're clowning now. Because, you know, there's some growth. Because, golly.
Many critics claim
I'ma
she
be
sounds
honest.
absolutely terrible, vocally shaky, and a manufactured fraud. Wow, watching this singer on SNL is like watching a 12-year-old in their bedroom when they are pretending to sing and perform. Hashtag sign of our times, tweeted actress and musician Julia.
Oh, that's disrespectful,
Lana
though.
did
Wow.
eventually state in a response that she is more of a musician and not a performer, and that her true fans already know this. Nonetheless, Born to Die was released worldwide on
She
January
just makes good music. Okay, I've heard you.
31st, 2012 to commercial
Damn, so
success,
she doesn't perform
charting
for
at
real?
number 1 in 11 countries and debuting at number 2 on the US Billboard 200 album chart, although critics at the time were divided. Born to Die was a blend of cinematic strings overlaid trip-hop beats to the backdrop of poetic old money and Western Americana music videos, which
I'm
made it
hearing
especially
okay.
successful on the internet and social media sites. Born to Die ended up selling 3.4 million copies in 2012, making it the 5th best-selling album of that year. In the United States, Born to Die charted on the Billboard 200 well into that same year, lingering at number 76 after 36 weeks on the chart. Lana did go on to release multiple other albums, including but not limited to the Paradise EP, Ultraviolence, Honeymoon, Lust for Life, NFR, and many others, leading all the way up to this year. She gained even more acclaim with her radio hit Summertime Sadness and her work with soundtracks such as Baz Luhrmann's The Great Gatsby, writing Young and Beautiful, and Disney's Maleficent with Once Upon a Dream. Lana even went on to film Tropico, a musical short film directed by Anthony Mandler. I was first introduced to Lana Del Rey in 2013, a couple months after moving from my hometown in Key West, Florida to Lewiston, New York, which is a very small town in the greater outskirts of Buffalo. As someone who is Cuban and from South Florida, moving right up to the border of Canada was a very hard culture shock and caused me to become very melancholic about Florida, and for the next couple years I began to obsess over where I used to be compared to where I was now. Hearing Lana echo experiences of traveling around the country, especially the South, South Florida, and the Keys, felt comforting and relatable. Moving from a place where Haitian, Dominican, and Cubans were the dominant ethnicities to a farm-like village with a population of mostly 98% older white people was definitely alienating, so hearing her romanticize and sing about her Cuban daddies or time spent in the Keys made me feel understood and seen.
Her Cuban what?
Del Rey's music, and especially her unreleased music, have these undertones of a longing to recapture old times and experiences traveling around the country, which reminded me of how I felt about being uprooted from my hometown and wanting to move back, and also about my travels around the US from LA, New York, and Chicago.
I like that. Oh my gosh, I like that. Like music that tries to recreate past experiences, emotions. That's the.
In Texas. This moves me to a bigger point about why I believe Lana has so much underground as well as mainstream appeal. Lana Del Rey has this ability to recapture and accurately express the emotions of being trapped in a melancholic-like state of mind, longing for a time or a place that has long ago slipped away, but that you can never truly move on from, making you feel almost frozen in time. This intoxicating romanticizing of the past can feel like a drug, and sometimes it can get debilitating. I feel as though many teens can relate to this sort of feeling, as they themselves are basically going through one large transition, feeling torn between their happy and cheery childhood and the mature, mundane structure of adulthood. Add on top of that the hormones and mental ups and downs from the teenage experience, and it can be easy to find yourself romanticizing and missing the happier, colorful times of childhood, like Lana's longing for a past time, or relate with her dramatic, cinematic, and clingy romantic lyrics that describe someone you'll never truly stop loving or chasing. I mean, let's be real, all of us had that cringy ass moment when we were teenagers where we had this crush that we were obsessed with in middle school or high school. Can really relate to how the drama that we find in Lana's lyrics when she's singing about this clingy sort of love or pursuit of a person that you really can never let go of.
Damn, that's deep. Hey, not me though, I can't relate. I ain't never been in love.
Another big shock for me after moving was the difference in culture. South Florida culture is so far removed from what is seen as American culture in so many ways. The culture is heavily influenced by the tropical Caribbean and doesn't feel like what we would see in shows and movies that show what American life is like. So I felt very out of place, and again would depressingly reminisce about where I felt I was supposed to be. Lana in a way helped me to see the beauty in the Americana in a way to reclaim my happiness and outlook on my life. I felt American society, quiet suburbs, yellow school buses, American flags, and small forgotten towns like the one that I now lived in were boring and unrelatable. She helped change my perspective and to see these sometimes mundane aspects of American life from a more romanticized angle. One of Lana's most interesting aspects
she helps you see your life with more beauty, more color, hey.
Seemingly monotonous and common experiences, especially when listening to her unreleased music.
Man, because I'm thinking about it, bro. She probably just thinking about her background, bro. Let's be honest, she's a normal white girl, had a normal kind of life, bro. Kind of life, dealt with some drugs here and there, you know what I'm saying? Okay. But she's really good at forming lyrics and combining that with musical sounds that give people the ability to enter her perspective that they can also relate to. Back to you, Jim.
Find things like going to the gas station and getting Slurpees.
Give me coffee, you taller.
So now anybody can relate. That's what makes it mainstream, though. Hella relatable.
I'm the kind of girl you dream of. I'm trying to tell you what I dream.
This shit sound gas, though. Hold on.
Give me coffee, you taller. I'm the kind of girl you dream of. I'm trying to tell you what I dream of, and that's gas stations with Slurpee machines and organs playing.
Dancing around a trailer with Christmas lights on.
Dance at night back in Alabama.
I can't really relate to this lifestyle, though.
On my teal green trailer.
Or even going to the 7-Eleven.
Maybe we can go to the 7-Eleven. Drive down the main drag in your Pontiac Hilton.
It sounds so surprisingly beautiful, poetic, and significant. This is very appealing to many of us that are tired of the unattainable, materialistic, and vapid claims to power and wealth in nearly all other forms of music today. This ability to reclaim the narrative from the common, you need this expensive car or clothes or shoes to be beautiful and happy, to more of a your middle to lower class existence and all the tiny pleasures within it are just as beautiful mindset is so refreshing and validating.
Fair, but you can do that still with like with rap, right? Or like I guess well, I guess he's not saying rap though, but like not flex, bro. You can flex in any situation you're in.
Makes her have so much more of a
I'm a
wider
believer.
appeal and relatability to many people, being that the majority of the US is lower to middle class. Romanticizing of one's life can also dramatically help one view their situation in a different light and can even help someone cope with depression and dissatisfaction by reinforcing a belief that there is beauty in all things and all levels of life, not just the rich, unobtainable one.
Facts though. The girls and the gays.
Another fact that's pretty hard to ignore is also Lana's large percentage of gay fans. I feel as though Lana is disproportionately adored by gays and girls because of her love for the classic feminine aesthetic and the sometimes wholesome, vivid imagery about love and relationships.
Call yourself the Dawn and call me Queen Diana. You always make me blush and say shut up for your banana. You pull my hair and push me down and chase me, leave me run. You play me Biggie Smalls and then my first Nirvana song.
That I think a lot of women yearn for and a lot of gays feel as though we can never really have or find. This is because, in my opinion, gay culture can feel hypersexualized and extremely shallow at times, so music that describes true love, chivalry, and innocence can be very appealing and feel like a breath of fresh air.
And she did have that one song. She was okay. Okay, Lana. Okay, Lana's different. Someone did comment this, and I'm really seeing it now. Like, she's a go against the grain type of artist. Wow. Nah, facts.
And we gotta
Go
prove to
against the
Mexicans
culture,
how Mexican we are,
but to
and we
fit
gotta
in
prove
with
to
the
Americans how
culture.
American we are. We gotta be more Mexican than the Mexicans and more American than the Americans.
Authentic. Okay.
Both at the same time. It's exhausting.
Being Cuban American, I also felt torn between these two separate identities, and I felt as if what was, again, constantly displayed as American culture on movies and in television was something that was really foreign and unrelatable. Like I said
How'd I
earlier,
just notice this
Lana
nigga
helped
like
portray a
buffaloed
new
her now.
Americana that isn't limited to the pristine, unrealistic, idealistic lifestyle of the past. She was open about all aspects of her life, the good as well as the bad, and unapologetically stood by them instead of hiding them to preserve a certain type of
Authentic,
image.
bro.
Her experimentation
Authentic.
with many different genres, including hip-hop and trip-hop,
Hold on, I gotta hear that song. Hold on.
adding Marilyn Monroe, Elvis, JFK, and other romanticized American icons. When American society tends to culturally exclude immigrant or non-white cultures, forcing them into their own separate box, I see Lana's blending and appreciation of them to show that they are just as American and beautiful as the other mainstream
we're all one,
Anglo-Saxon
right?
cultural aspects. This synchronization of different sounds and romanticizing of cultures that are typically
Oh,
discriminated
video at the
against in
strip club?
America, specifically in my case Latino, seems so refreshing to me. This is also not to say that that was her intent or her mission, but just what I personally gained from it.
And an obsession for freedom that terrified me to the point that I couldn't even talk about.
Lana Del Rey's obsession with the idea of freedom is another very consistent
Hey, do y'all think we're truly free?
aspect in her lyrics. She constantly repeats the idea of starting over, driving and being on the road, or having nothing to lose, that it can begin to feel like a mantra at times. There is arguably nothing more American than the idea of freedom that being able to drive anywhere at any time offers. This concept of dropping all the petty and mundane aspects of your life in exchange for a wide open freedom where only you and your lover or close friends are all that matter is a very relatable and engaging idea that many of us can agree with and desire. Who hasn't felt so overwhelmed with their job, family, or life to the point where they just want to drop everything and move to a new city to enjoy the freedom of not knowing who you are and being able to rewrite your own story and reclaim your own personal narrative? Whatever you want to call her, Lana Del Rey, Lizzie Grant, or Sparkle Jump Rope Queen, I think we can all agree her unique take on songwriting and her outlook on the world have set her miles apart from her contemporaries. She began her musical journey on a more indie and underground note before
She was trying to look sexy in that.
I think we can all agree her unique take on songwriting and her outlook on the world have set her miles apart from her contemporaries. She began her musical journey on a more indie and underground note before transforming into a polished representation of classic American Hollywood and then moving towards psychedelic rock and Baroque pop into where we find her today, slipping back to her original indie roots with her albums Blue Banisters and There's a Tunnel Under Ocean Boulevard, which sonically echo her first album, Lana Del Rey. The way in which Del Rey is able to create a unique sound that isn't wholly one genre or another truly sets her apart from her peers in a world dominated by the cookie-cutter template of hip-hop and electronic pop. She pays homage to a bygone American image sprinkled with modernity and to a type of life where the small things are romanticized simply because they can be and not because it's what society says should be. She speaks to an entire generation because of her ability to create music that cinematically and authentically tells stories, which create stark contrast to the shallow, inauthentic, materialistic music and culture that we are drowning in our world today. So yeah, that was my attempt at making a small little documentary explanation video about Lana. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching.
Because we're really just going through a simulation. So Lana Del Rey being able to, oh my gosh, give us some truth and authenticity. With all these lies around us. Wow. Which is great. Oh, I should have watched
Lana
this.
Del Rey has gained a
Nigga, this is a
massive
deep
cult-like
dive
following
into
ever since she first
everything.
burst onto the scene in
2 for
2011 with
1?
the
It's like,
viral success
no.